welcome to today's Easter edition of Realities, A Moment with Susie. Happy Easter, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely time. I don't know about anyone outside the UK, but here it's freezing cold. Apparently, it's the coldest it has been in 50 years in March. It is awful, but the sun is going to come soon, so we're going to be fine. Anyway, for today's show, we are going to be talking about a personal experience of a person. But before I go into it, first of all, I'm going to welcome my guests to the show. First of all, I have Miss Julie Anna. And Julie, I'm welcoming back to the show. Thank you for coming, Julie.
My pleasure.
And also with me, I have Pastor Nat. And I'm going to say, once again, welcome back to the show, Pastor Nat.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, and I hope you guys are having a lovely Easter too.
Yeah.
We are good.
Oh, good. So, for today's show, I found this really interesting, you see. It was a topic that just came up from nowhere, but I found it really interesting. I'm actually going to read it because I don't want to get the story wrong. I want to get it accurate, so excuse me for reading it. It's about a young lady and an experience she had, and I want to hear your views because I think it's something that can happen to anyone, and I think it's something that, you know, different people will have total different views on. So if I just read it to you and we'll take it from there.
All right.
So this is how she started. Please, I want to ask if there is anything wrong if a girl carries a condom in her bag. I was with my boyfriend for the first time after 4 months of courting. Remember, 4 months of courting. When it got to the part where he was supposed to put his plug inside, let me not read that part out. I asked him if he could get a CD. We're going to call condom CD, sorry. A CD. He checked the drawer, there was none. So I remembered I had one in my purse since last year, she put in brackets. I brought it out for us to use, but he got angry. He said he didn't know that I was a runs girl, which is a girl who runs around town with CDs in her pocket, just in case of impromptu action. Now, it's been 5 days, he's refused to pick up my calls and listen to my explanations about the situation. So that is it. Now, what I would love to hear from the viewers out there and from my guests here, what are your views about such a situation? Because for me, I believe, you know, the world has changed. I don't have a view on it. The world has changed and people do different things for different reasons. And now, a lot of the time, when it comes to intimacy, there's a safety part there, and there's always this thing about who actually takes, you know, responsibility for the safety. So if I start with you, Julie, what do you think of such a situation?
I don't see anything wrong with it. As you pointed out, safety comes first. I worked in women's health and we had the opportunity of giving condoms out.
Yeah.
And I remember saying something to someone recently that we were giving them out to 10-year-olds who were coming in.
10-year-olds?
10-year-olds coming into the offices asking for them. But these are girls who are catching diseases and things like that. So I don't see anything wrong with protecting yourself. But this situation is quite different.
Yeah.
In the sense that I'm assuming this is a lady of a maturer age.
Yes,
that
she
we're
is.
talking
Yes,
about.
she is.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, okay, you've had this condom in your bag, or CD as you're calling it. This is the first time I'm hearing it as a CD. But you've had this condom in your bag for over a year, and you've now had the opportunity to use it because the person who you thought you were going to use it with,
yeah,
you know, didn't have one.
Yeah.
So I would have thought, you know, he would have been quite happy to know that she was protecting herself.
So
and he was protected as well, in a sense.
So he should have been grateful.
He should have been grateful, as far as I'm concerned. He should have been very grateful that, you know, she had that in her bag. She had the forethought that, oh, okay, maybe this thing may happen one day, or maybe she didn't.
I mean, they've been going out for a while. They've been going out for what? 4 months, she
wasn't
said.
it? 4 months, she said? 4
Yeah.
months, yeah. So they should have known each other a little bit by then, you know. So I really don't see what his problem was. My advice to her, leave him.
Leave him, dump him.
Oh yes, don't bother yourself. Sorry.
Right, I'm gonna go over to Pastor Nat now. Pastor Nat, a hard one. What's your take on it?
Well, I'm going to talk from a dual perspective.
Wow, what do you mean by a dual
Now,
perspective?
I'm going to talk first of all as a Christian,
Okay.
and then also I'm going to talk. I will try to address both sides in the secular nature of the situation,
Yeah.
and also the Christian faith. First of all, we're talking about the secular faith. All right. Now, you see, first impressions matters a lot, and in that aspect, when you are dating someone for the first time, and the people that probably do not take the biblical teachings into consideration in their life, and they want to make out, as people will say,
Yeah.
and then there's a general rule now because of the prevailing circumstances
Yeah.
of HIV and all them being out there, different STDs.
Yeah.
You know, is pertinent for each partner to protect themselves. All right. Or not. That's one thing. Also, to avoid unwanted pregnancy. All right. That's another something. Okay. But you see, there are some people when they meet someone, probably they've been disappointed before.
Yeah.
Especially on the side of the guy.
Mhm.
I now thought that he has seen something new and something better, and then now this.
Yeah.
They found condom. It gives an impression that are you a ready to go kind of person?
Do you really think that?
I mean that could be the impression the guy has.
Yeah.
From what I learned from the story, could be are you on the go kind of person?
Yeah.
Or because that was the kind of impression that he had, and I say, wow, so you
Is that why he was calling her the runs girl?
ready anytime, kind of something.
Wait, Pastor Nat, when you say that,
let me say this: the girl was innocent
yeah.
Yeah.
because probably due to the nature of the work that she does or whatever it is, there's one there, or probably from a previous relationship, probably the person she had before used to be it can happen anytime, so please get ready.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay, that is something. Now, from the Christian perspective,
Yeah.
which is contrary to what I've said, is the fact that anyway, the Bible says in Hebrews 13:4 that marriage is honorable, the bed undefiled. If you get into a relationship, you don't just get, as a Christian, you don't just get to meet someone one day and get married to them the same day.
Yeah,
There'll be a
that's
period
true.
of courtship, which the Bible encourages that it should be pure. You understand that? No sex, no marital something before marriage. All right. So I know that that wouldn't happen in the setting that I'm talking about, the Christian setting anyway. But for Christians, even for Christians, the contraceptive is not a taboo. For example, if you don't want your wife to be visiting the labor ward every year,
Yeah.
then you need to find a form of contraception.
But in some churches it is, isn't it?
Well, I will say this. My own personal view on this is that they are only being blatantly ignorant.
Yeah.
Because number one, you don't want, God actually is the author of medicine. All right?
Yeah.
If you cannot wait, or even if you say you want to calculate whatever you do by your wife's menstrual period or ovulation period and all this thing, you can miss it.
Yeah.
And I mean, this woman is human being,
Mm.
and you don't want to have carrying baby all the time.
Every year.
Every year.
Every
carrying
9
baby.
months,
Or
actually.
even every
Every
yes,
month.
everything. Okay. It's not healthy
Yeah.
for a woman. There should be a form of prevention, If you don't
Yeah.
want to take the contraceptives or you want any form, and the condom is one thing to, although many people say they don't enjoy it.
So
use
do you
the
think
condom.
he was right in his behavior? Sorry. I can,
Well,
I
I
can
don't
hear what
have,
you're saying.
in that judgment, I don't have an opinion. in that judgment, I don't have an opinion because I mean.
No, because I'm seeing your Christian views on what you're saying at this present time. Yeah, but in this world and in this time, in this society that we're living in at the moment, sex is something that happens every day, every minute, every second of the hour.
Right.
You know, whether they're Christians, quote, I have Christian friends that are there enjoying their lives and not thinking about what the Bible tells them to do. You
Or they
understand?
think about part of what the Bible.
Part of what the Bible tells you, or they make you believe they're actually acting out what the Bible's telling them to do. You know, but they're there in the same situation as this young lady. You know,
they are not married to someone and they want to have sex with that person.
The Bible tells us we shouldn't be having sex until we are married to that person.
Yes.
Yes, we all understand that.
All right.
But that's not happening.
But does that really happen nowadays?
It's not happening.
Well, you see, if you look close enough, see, and let us be aware of the scripture. We say that not everyone that calls me Lord, Lord.
Yeah.
You know, but those who does my Father's will. And what is the will of God? The will of God is the Bible. Is acting or living a lifestyle based on the Bible. That is what real Christianity is all about.
Yeah.
But those people who go to church and they still commit things, whatever they commit, you see, they don't have me to answer to.
Yeah.
But they have the ultimate, to answer to. Things are changing. Lives are advancing.
Yeah.
But God remains the same. And
Yeah.
His word does not change. No matter what our conviction is, the Bible still stands. So it is a question of you taking your stand that for me to live is Christ and to die is gain.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be a Christian, I'll be a Christian through and through.
But boss, now I want to ask you something.
All right.
I'm not saying this is just a question that I'm going to ask you now. So if you have a couple,
all right,
and they don't get intimate before they get married, and then they get married and they become intimate, and then they discover that they are not compatible, does the church have classes to assist them, or is there any form of help? Because if that is the case, they're going to need a form of help. So is there something out there to support them, to get them over that hurdle of not being compatible?
Compatible in what sense? Compatible in bed?
Okay, if you want me to say it, sexually.
Sexually compatible. Yeah. Anyway, in the Christian faith, this is what I know that happens. And every Christian that knows Jesus as the Lord and personal Savior will attest to that. The fact that when you are looking you will pray for God to lead you to your partner. All right? And having prayed, and if you find a life partner, all right, then discussions change. You begin to discuss about what future holds for both of you.
Yeah.
And also you'll be talking about the things that you want in a matured way.
Yeah.
But I will advise that when you are in courtship, please don't close the door on yourselves. Everybody, we are all physiological beings.
Yeah.
So anyone can be tempted. So please, to avoid temptation, because there's a line drawn, and that line drawn is the fine line between courtship and marriage.
No, but I'm talking about after they get married.
I'm coming.
Yeah.
Before marriage,
there
should have been discussions on this issue.
What type of discussion? Sorry.
I mean, intimacy discussions. We talk about what you want. You talk about your past experience. See, this is what Christianity holds that many people are not really getting into. For example, a couple dating Christian, they should discuss. They should seek for counsel.
Yeah.
And help is available. I know of a particular couple that even when they got married and both of them were naive about sex, they had to go and buy books written by Christians.
Yeah. But what I'm talking about here is at the end of the day, talking about it, isn't that a bit different? Or Julie, what do you think? Talking about it and actually doing it, aren't they two different things?
Two different things.
But one precedes the other.
What, so you think that I'm just sorry, Pastor Nat. I'm not being.
No.
Pastor Nat, I'm not being
practical.
rude, but I'm
Let's
just
be
wondering.
practical.
No.
Let's be
I'm
practical
not being
about this.
rude. I'm being practical, but I'm just wondering what type of conversations they're gonna have. You know.
I don't know, but I'm just thinking they've had 4 months of courtship. I'm going back to the story. They've had 4 months of courtship. During that 4 months, they must have spoken about past relationship. They must have spoken about their partners and everything else that they've been with. You understand? So they must have come to an understanding for them to get to that bed situation. You know?
I believe that.
Okay, maybe before marriage, as you would put it, but they've gone to some kind of agreement before they got to the situation where they got themselves into. You know, so they must have had some conversation. I'm sure in that time, in 4 months, you would have had that conversation with each other as to how do you feel about certain things, or how do you feel about us being active now before we take the situation, our relationship further, or whatever it is. You know, I'm sure that's where they've come to. They've come to that agreement. Because from my
think the
my
people that
point,
you're talking about, they're not Christians.
they're not Christians. I don't know who the person
No,
is.
I don't know, but they
I
could
don't
be
even know. They
Christians,
could be
Pastor
Christians.
Nat.
No,
I don't see why they. They could be
No.
Christians.
If they're Christians, they will be living together.
No,
No.
not if they're not married.
No.
So Pastor
Yeah,
Nat,
no,
you're
you've
old.
changed- you've
Pastor
changed
Nat,
it
you've
now.
changed it now.
You've
Because
changed it.
now you're saying
I haven't changed
You've
anything.
changed
you
it.
have, because
You
you
have,
said
because
that
they
if
should be
they were
living together.
Christians, they should be living together.
But
But
why?
they're not married yet.
That's what I'm saying. By that I mean they're married and they are living together.
No, but don't forget, they've been going out for 4 months. So don't Christians have courtship?
Christians do have courtship and they
4
don't.
months is very short.
I knew some people that had courtship for 6 months.
Yeah, but these are only 4 months. These are still 2 months. less, Pastor.
I will not
Yeah.
recommend a 4 month courtship and get married because you will hardly know each other.
But you just said they should be living together.
No. Let me clarify what I said.
Yeah.
What I meant is that the people that you're talking about should be married and they are living together.
Pastor Nat, I never said that they're married.
I mean,
I
probably
said
you
they're going
implied
out.
it somehow.
No, Pastor Nat, I
what I'm
never.
saying is anyone that wants to have sex
Yeah.
must be married, all right, and they're living in under the same roof.
So they can't even live separately, even if they're married.
Even it depends on.
Sorry, I was just asking that.
No. Yes, it could be that they're married and probably someone works somewhere,
Yeah.
and they come home on the weekend.
Yeah.
That was the situation of the job before it changes back to the normal situation. That happens.
Yeah.
We are not in an ideal world, so the situations do confront the way we live sometimes. All right. Now, what I'm trying to say is this: talking about the Christian faith, there'll be a period of courtship which should be at least 6 months. During that time, you will not know everything about each other.
I'm just wondering what you're going to talk about.
I was going to say
to-
6
to
months. Even you don't know somebody.
You don't
That's
even
what
know
I'm saying, but
somebody.
see,
You don't know it.
Can you court forever? Let me say one thing to you.
But
People are
2
married
years
for
is-
20, 30 years. They're
And they
still
don't know
discovering
each
each
other.
other.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. So at least 6 months is still a good time, and you will come to an agreement, because there will always be issues.
Yeah, definitely.
There will
That's
be always issues.
unavoidable,
But
isn't it?
but one thing is this: if you want to always make sure that every issue is resolved,
Yeah.
and there is help from the church. If you have marital difficulties, there is marital counseling. There is pre-marital counseling, and there is marital counseling, because none of us is perfect.
But then, Pastor Nat, going back to that particular story, so would you then, supposing you knew 2 young people that were sexually active and they're not married, they're going to the church, let's say they're going to your church,
Yeah.
they're not married, but they are sexually active, and if they came to you and said, they said, do you know, we're going to become sexually active, there's nothing you can do about it, would you advise that if the girl comes to you in private, would you advise that I carry my own protection around me? Would your answer to her be, no, have no sex, full stop, it's not allowed?
It is not
But-
allowed. It is not allowed.
But you have to be realistic that at some point, if they've spoken about it, there's going to be the possibility that they're going to do it. And if there's going to be the possibility that they're going to do it, what advice are you going to give them? Because saying no, don't do it, it's, you know,
It's
they're
like
not
a
going to listen.
temptation.
There's no need giving them that advice if they're not going to work with that, is there?
You see, it depends on what kind of advice you give them. There are many scenarios which you can counsel them. You want an everlasting heartbreak, or you want to be patient?
No, what do you mean by that? Sorry.
Now,
What
a
do
lot
you
of
mean
people
by
have
that?
gone into a lot of people have put themselves in that situation.
Yeah.
They've gone into each other. They've done everything together. They've had sex. They've done everything together, only for them to go the separate ways afterwards.
But Pastor, you say that there are Christian marriages where they're both Christians, they followed the laws. After some years, they've been together. They've still got heartbroken because they've still broken up, in spite of the fact that they have been Christians. There are some, they are not Christians, and they've lived together for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying here is, it's about working with the times. Things have changed.
Like I
How
said
do
earlier.
you move with the times?
Like I said earlier, times may change, but God still remains the same.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Now,
But
going back to what you said about
Yeah.
two young people, sexually active, and they are asking for my counsel. Number one,
make them young, make them a bit older, make them about 26, 27 each.
no matter how old they are, as long
Okay.
as they have not tied the knot yet,
Yeah.
I will say no. Don't have sex before you get married.
But how about if you know that even though you are saying no, they are still going to do it? Isn't there no advice for them?
There is advice because number one, see, marriage is not just something.
Apart from telling them they're going to hell. though.
See, now, I know it is not. I'm a reconciler. I don't condemn people.
Okay.
Now, what I'm going to say to them is, you see, a lot of people do not have enough information
Yeah.
about living. That is why they make odd choices. I hope you understand what I'm saying. A lot of people,
No,
because if you know the consequences of a 5 minutes pleasure over an entire lifetime, and you see examples of what it has done to people, I don't think you will be in a hurry.
Might not be 5
This
minutes.
is not.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
no, just for example.
I had to say.
For example, no, for example, you see, it is
That definitely is not worth my while.
yeah, it is not. I mean, like, if you know, because at the end of the day, you see, what sex is meant to do
Yeah.
in marriage is to cement relationship.
Yeah.
If you have no commitment to one another, how do you want to work towards cementing a relationship?
Okay, how about if you have a couple that say, let's get married. Let's say they've been courting for, let's say, 3 years, no intimacy, and then they come to this point and they decide, you know what, let's get married, and then they say, you know what, we're now engaged. You know, since we are now engaged, let's...
Still, it is no. Until you stand before the congregation, exchange vows of commitment
Sorry, I
to one
think we
another
have a call
before.
coming in, Pastor, now.
All right.
Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
my
Sorry?
and happy Friday.
I think I know this voice. Hello, sorry, what's your name?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you as well. Good Friday. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
I'm enjoying Friday.
Okay. Sorry, who am I speaking to?
My name is Olu.
Hi, Olu. How are you?
I'm okay.
Have you been listening to the conversation that we're having here?
Yeah. I've been listening from the beginning anyway.
All right, then. I would like you to express your view around it.
Okay, let me just give me 2 minutes and let me express myself to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Long time ago, a friend of mine, this thing happened to him.
Yeah.
A girlfriend came to him,
Yeah.
and when they're about to start this thing, the girl asked the boy, "Where's your condom?"
Yeah.
And the boy said, "I ain't got any condom."
Yeah.
And the boy said, and the girl lady said to the boy, "Can you please go and get a condom before you could touch me?"
Exactly.
So the guy jumped into his car and drove to the shop, and the way going, forget to put on his seatbelt, and the police stopped the guy. So when the police stopped the guy, they wasted his time. So when he get back home, the lady says, "So I'm no more doing it because I've taken too much time." But if the lady had the condom in that day, he could have not been stopped by the police, and he could have not go through all that nonsense. There's nothing bad in lady having the CD or condom or anything you call it.
So you're thinking, so you're saying is that the girl was very right to have it?
Yeah, of course. 100% right.
Shall I? So what do you say? Because I think Pastor Nat is going to really disagree with you here. Because
Oh,
to Pastor Nat, you shouldn't have been doing it in the first place.
let's forget. I'm sorry to say, let's forget about the pastor for now.
Pastor Nat, I'm sorry.
And let's come to the word. You understand me? Because nothing is right according to what the Bible says.
Okay.
But can we all follow what the Bible says, including plus all the pastors? So
Thank you.
I'm not going to go into that one now.
Yeah.
But there are now in the open world that people want to do what they want to do.
Yes.
It's better for her to carry condom than her getting AIDS.
Well, that's what I would have thought, or pregnant, or any other STI out
Andrew,
there.
thank
isn't
you
it?
for what you're saying, because this is where I'm actually coming in from.
Yes.
We should actually be protecting ourselves in any way, shape, and form that we can.
Yeah, after that we go back to forgiveness.
And yeah, we'll ask God for forgiveness later on. let's enjoy our short life that we have on this earth.
Pastor Nat, I don't hear that.
Mr. Olu, Mr. Olu, that's very, you touch on a nerve there, and I want you to be very patient and for you to listen. The Bible says that he that confesses and forsakes, when we find mercy. But if you knowingly go ahead and do it and say, okay, later on, ask for forgiveness. You have God to answer. You ask God for answer for. Now, let me say this to you: in the world, they said you can do what you like, and a man is a free moral agent. You can do what you like. You can have a field day, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
There is one thing is that at the end of the day, you will have to give account. There is life after death.
Yeah, my brother. For every sin you committed,
you may do whatever you like and say, oh, this is the real world. The real world does not qualify you for eternity with God at all.
Pastor Nat, can I just say something?
yes, that I understand you, bro. I understand what you're saying.
So,
but according to every sin,
listen. When some pastors do it also, it is not in any man's. I'm not passing judgment on anybody, and so do you have no right to judge anyone.
I'm not judging.
If you know,
I'm just saying my own opinion.
That's what I said.
But wait, Pastor Nat, can I say something? He might not be a Christian.
Him talking?
Yeah, he might not be a Christian.
No, but one thing, that is no excuse for it. But at one point in time, you don't need more than one opportunity for you to hear the gospel and believe before you. Everybody, you have no right to have more than one opportunity.
No, but
a lot of people are not.
A lot of people are not Christian. Even if you
Be
hear it, Pastor Nat,
be that as it may, it does not change anything about the scripture.
Pastor Nat, I'm a Christian, but at the same time, I also believe that there are people that are not Christians. Now, if somebody speaks to me in a Christian way, as a Christian, I understand what they are saying. Now, if you go and speak to somebody who is not a Christian, now what you're saying to them is not making sense to them, because you don't just say it to them and they take it on board. It has to go much deeper than that. So at the end of the day, it can't work that way. But you also have to work with the premise is that, okay, I understand what you're saying. You will give people the advice. But if they decide to go ahead with it, and they decide to become intimate, please tell me, would it be wrong for that lady to have protection in her bag? Protection was made through the guidance of man. Sorry, hold on. We've got another call coming through. Sorry.
All right.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, my name is Femi.
Sorry, Femi.
IKU.
Oh, hi, Femi. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Oh, would you like to contribute to what we are discussing here?
I would like to contribute, yes.
Okay.
Let me repeat the question. Is it right for a woman to carry condom in her bag?
Well, yeah, it was a situation whereby a woman had been going out with someone for a few months. They got to the stage where they were going to become intimate. The guy didn't have a condom, and the girl produced one from her bag, and that kind of ended the relationship.
Yeah, because if I was a guy, I would see that act as a paraphernalia of a prostitute. And the girl is a prostitute.
So if you would think that she was a prostitute if she brought out a condom?
No. What she's trying to tell me is that that's an act. She's only prepared for any sex, no matter how it is. She can rough. That's the way I will see her.
So then, how about, what would you say then if the guy, none of them had condoms and they just went on and they became intimate without any protection? Do you think that would be better? Do you think that the girl would not look like a prostitute, as you said, because she didn't have a condom, but they still became intimate? Do you think that is a better situation then?
On both sides, there has to be an agreement on what we do. Business, relationship, there has to be a plan. So if the guy is not preparing for the lady's coming, then what are we saying here?
No, but Femi, what I'm asking you now is, you're saying that because she had a CD in her bag, then that makes her look like a prostitute. But I'm saying, I'm asking you now, would it have been better for them to have proceeded without a CD, and then they she wouldn't have produced a condom, they would have got intimate without any protection? Would she have looked better?
No, sure.
No, but if
except I call her, hold on, I say, okay, on your way coming, can you please, hello?
I'm listening. Hi, I'm here.
Okay, on your way coming, can you please purchase a condom? That's our agreement, we both agree.
So you're saying there has to be an agreement between the two of them before
exactly.
Look good.
Exactly.
What do you say?
It's not the man over the wife or the lady over the man. There has to be agreement. If she comes to my house and you don't want to have one.
Sorry.
Hold on, Femi, Julie wants to answer you.
In the heat of their passion, they hadn't thought that they were going to get to that stage. Yeah? So no agreement was made on that at that time that they were going to actually get intimate. That evening now, everything went well. They had their dinner, whatever it is. Got to the stage, they're smooching, and it got very intimate. And he's looking for a condom and couldn't find one. You're saying that because she had one in her bag, she's a prostitute. Considering she had a condom a year ago.
I hope it weren't out.
No. Let me tell you one thing. You see, let me say one thing. You see, a lady that makes herself so free, you just put yourself into the hands of the man. Even though you have your bag, even though you have your bag, you don't present it. No. Not true. I'm a married man. I have 3 kids. I have seen. Hold on. I have seen how lady have a good heart and men take advantage of them. And I see how lady wash the situation and say, no, even though I have this thing, let me see what the guy is up to. I'm telling you, if you I'll be she might give in, and that will be the end of the relationship. That man, this lady is the world. That's what you see. Men think fast, even though negative. Men think fast,
so,
even though negative.
Can I ask you something? What would you call a man that carries a bag full of condoms in his car?
I said both sides, both the man or the woman. They're not right. They're not right. If I am a man, I have a condom as my in my pocket. I'm not right. Both sides.
You're all right.
You're all right.
You're all right to carry a condom.
No.
Oh, it's not right.
Okay,
do you know what? Then
it's not right. Both on the guy side and the lady side. You're not right.
Femi,
it's when we have agreed they were going out, they will come to my house and we're going to so we're not prepared for what we're about to do. We're just having it in my pocket or in my bag. No, it's not right.
But hold on
a second. It's not right.
Femi, did you take this? Did you take the whole story in the context? They had been going out for 4 months. So at some stage in the relationship, they were going to become intimate. Maybe they had been, kind of getting there, but never got to that level. So they both knew they were going to get to that level at some point.
I insist, and I repeat myself. No matter what I'm having a lady, she has to know exactly what my advances are and what my plans are. Exactly. It's true. If I begin to hide things from her or oversight, that tells you how serious I am in that relationship.
My God, I can see how serious you are. I tell you that.
Yeah? What do you say?
I can see how serious you are.
Hello.
Yeah,
am I still on?
Yeah, you are still here.
Yeah. So if I begin to display some act of oversight from inception or in between, that means I'm not going to take her serious, and that's what ladies need to watch out for.
Right.
Everything oversight. Okay, no, I don't. No, 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 no. Relationship is different from any other thing.
I think they need to
I'm
be
sorry
more
for
money
going.
shops
I'm
about
sorry for
that.
going contract, but that's the way I see it.
Oh, Femi, thank you so much for your contribution.
Yeah.
We're really grateful for
Yeah.
that, and I hope you have a
Yeah.
lovely Easter.
Yeah, you too.
All right, good
Bye.
night. Oh, bless him.
He had some valid points there.
He had some valid points. Can you tell me which ones?
Well, it's making me look at male perspective of carrying a condom.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
Yeah.
always thinking that, for a lady to carry a condom, it's being in safe hands. You're protecting yourself.
Yeah.
But then now I'm actually looking at it in a different point of view.
Men
saying
carrying
men
condoms
carrying
are just as
condoms,
bad.
Yes, it's just as bad. So, ladies out
Yeah.
there, I hope you're listening.
If you have a man with you and he brings a condom out his wallet, forget
Run.
about it, end the relationship
Run.
there, because that means that, he's a gigolo.
It's a gigolo.
Yeah.
Run.
Pastor Nat.
All right. Now let's look at both sides of the divide.
We should have asked Femi
Okay.
if he believes in waiting till you're married to become intimate.
It doesn't look like he does from what the
No,
way he-
but
No. But he was saying
Pastor
no.
Nat, I think,
No, he was saying that they have to be agreement that if they're going to a hotel or if they were going to go and meet.
if they go to a hotel.
Yeah, he mentioned a hotel. He actually mentioned a hotel.
When we there's something is this.
Yeah.
I'm not abandoning my conviction. I'm just going to reiterate that. Now,
Yeah.
in fact, in that world, the rules are different. You
Yeah.
see, and morally speaking, what the man is trying to do
Yeah.
is like, okay, well, if she carries a condom
He's trying to
around,
justify it.
God knows how many. She may be a lady about town,
Yeah.
that kind of something. And he might be thinking that I don't think I am very, very safe, even if I use
Condom.
the protection, because it's just a protection. It does. It's not. What they call. It's not kind of. It protects but does not avert.
Do you know why I struggle with what you're saying now? Because if you're saying that, then you need to explain to me, why is it that people go to clinics and when they get to clinics they hand condoms out to them free? No, but wait, Pastor Nat, when you go to a clinic, right, let's say you go to a sexual health clinic or whatever, you're going for whatever reason, they give you condoms free. The government made condoms free for a reason, so that they will be given to people freely. So basically you're saying that when you go to the clinic and they give you a condom, please, can you put it in your drawer and make sure you don't carry it around with you? Because why are they giving it to you then?
Now, I can't speak authoritatively on that front.
Why?
Okay. The reason being that I was never there, and I don't think I'm going to be there.
Well, I worked in such a situation whereby we had to give, when I worked with young people, we had to give young people sex education and we had to give them condoms. So at the end of the day,
and we're doing it at schools
exactly,
now.
and it happens in schools when kids get to a certain age. And the thing is, even with when I think about my days, they used to put these condoms in a paper bag, and where it was in a paper bag, sometimes the bag might tear, the condoms fall in my bag. So sometimes, half the time, I'm walking around with condoms in my bag.
Yeah.
Now, if my bag falls open where somebody is, where a guy is or something,
What are they gonna think?
does that mean my bag drops down, 2 condoms drop out, they're going to think I'm a prostitute?
Yes.
Don't
That's
make
what they're
sense to
saying.
me.
That's what
Because
they're
that's what I'm being told now. That's what I'm hearing.
See, let me just like I don't want to say this. Just like I have a friend of mine. We graduated together, and he got a job in breweries.
Yeah.
All right. You know what that means.
In the
and he
brewery.
doesn't drink in the breweries.
Yeah.
Where they brew beer and all these things.
Yeah.
He did industrial chemistry, and that was it. He got a job there.
Yeah.
Excuse me. He was a quality control
Yeah.
supervisor.
Yeah.
He never drank.
Sorry, I think we have a call coming through. Hello, good evening.
Hello, brother. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. Sorry, who am I speaking to, please?
Oh, you're speaking Kari.
Hi, Kaide, how are you?
Oh, fine.
Oh, good. Have you been listening to our conversation this evening?
Oh, yes, I have been.
What do you
Oh,
think?
say that again.
What do you think?
Oh, I think we really need to look at everybody's perspective when it comes to this issue, actually. I think if you are looking at just one religion or just one sector part of it, then we are missing it.
Yeah.
Because sex as an issue is for everybody.
Yeah.
And I think one way or the other, that this topic will always cut across the board, regardless of whether there's faith in it or there's no faith in it.
Yeah.
But the issue of condom, if I could recollect, when I was growing up, my parent actually happens to be one of the first leading, because I'm from Nigeria anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, my parent has to be one of the people that was leading family planning in Nigeria at that time.
Okay.
And condom was what was introduced. I'm talking about as far back as in the 80s.
Okay, yeah.
Now, a lot of people have been given these, even they have to go as far back as going to university to give to students.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people would disagree to this because of one reason or the other.
Yeah.
But if we look at sexual transmitted diseases across the board, on the world that everybody's trying to protect, would you have, and now going back to the situation of this lady and this guy that's been dating for about 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, 4 months.
4 months, okay. And maybe they're not in the faith.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I don't think.
And if we look at it from nowadays perspective, people just meet each other overnight and go to bed.
Yeah, one night stands, yeah.
Yeah. So if 4 months down the line, you think, oh yeah, this is all going on. Something like that happened. But then, now looking at it from the lady's point of view, that I did that condom, it on the guy's shoe, somehow I got taken aback in a way.
Okay.
And at the same time, I might be having it in my head, but, was she ready for this?
But then you've been going out for 4 months, so if you've been out for that long, it could have been some time, wouldn't it?
Well, introduce to it will be
Oh, I think we're losing Kaide there.
So, to be honest with you, as a guy, well, I would think otherwise one way. I would think I should be the one.
You would think that she was loose, yeah?
No, to be honest with you, from a man's point of view, I would say it's the man that should have the condom.
Okay, but then
again,
that if a man has a
condom, it could depend on if they have a very good open relationship. Maybe they talk about along the line, then I'll be comfortable with it.
Okay. What do you guys? Did you guys hear that?
I think get everything.
Thank you very much.
On the from a moral point of view, like I would say, well, normally, like you said, not everyone is a Christian. I agree to the fact that no one is a Christian. And then what do you do to prevent malaria? Generally, for a second, you take what? What do you take?
You take a tablet.
You take tablets, and you make sure that you take what we.
Sorry, I think we have another call coming in. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi. Who am I speaking to, please?
Trace.
Hi, Trace. How are you? Have you been listening to
I'm
the conversation?
Yourself?
I'm fine, thank you. Have you been listening to the conversation?
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, and what is your take on it?
I think it all goes back. It's a man's world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's okay for a man to carry a whole box of condoms in his pocket, and it's not for a woman to have one condom that she might have forgotten maybe last year in her past.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I don't. That's my opinion.
Because
It comes down to it's a man's fault.
yeah, I think yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
I actually agree with Tris. What you're saying is that yes, it is a man's world. They expect to carry the contraception for
No, but
us.
hold on, Femi
But then-
didn't. Femi said no.
it's true. But then we're asked as women to do family planning and control how we breed our children, basically, or how to breed, basically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why can we not walk around carrying a condom in our bag, even if it's a year old? Okay, obviously she will check the date and make sure it's not out of date, like Susie said. But what's wrong with us carrying a condom in our bag? I don't see.
Does it
does
make you a prostitute?
it make you a prostitute?
Does it make you?
No, it doesn't.
Does it make you loose? It's not.
It doesn't.
That doesn't
This is
point to me that this lady is loose. All I'm saying, I'm just looking at her as that, she's just being responsible for her life. Do you understand? I think she's been responsible, and I think that's where you're coming from. She's been responsible for her life. If he feels that she's a loose woman, like I said earlier at the beginning of the show, forgive him and tell him to go on his way, because
I think he left anyway.
He left anyway. Yeah. So just in your heart, forgive him and just move on with your life. He's not the right person for you. You know,
again,
that's how I'm looking at it.
And again, I mean, talking from there should be decency.
Exactly.
There's decency in the way we live. What I'm saying is this: why should I carry condom on the road or anything? If you want to do anything, do it in an atmosphere that is very respectful.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying that you must be a Christian, but do it in an atmosphere of respect.
I agree with you.
There's
Which is-
anything
yeah.
and just branch in the bed and breakfast or doing anything else.
Yeah, but those are but this is what's
you know
happening.
what?
This
The
is-
reality
this-
of the fact is that the world is losing respect, and many things that we are doing, we are encouraging. Because a man is a woman is to be treasured.
Thank
Now,
you.
I
Thank
agree with
you.
you
Not just to be
100%.
just jumped
To be
on
used and
anytime.
abused,
And
yeah.
then if you want to make love, do it within the
Respect.
confines of respect.
Thank you.
Sorry, Pastor Nat,
Come
hold
on,
on.
of your
Trish,
behalf.
I'm
You
gonna
don't need to carry
end your
condom
call.
around.
Sorry, Pastor Nat.
It
Trish,
portrays a
Pastor Nat,
different
hold on.
image of you.
I'm gonna end your call, Trish.
okay.
All right,
you.
thank you for ringing in, darling. Thank you. Pastor Nat,
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but in this world that we're living now, unfortunately, we do have to live with what we have, which is why, and I think even when we work with the younger ones, we walk in and we teach them about, sorry, I think we have another call coming in. Hello?
Hello there,
Hi, good evening. Who am I speaking to?
Steve. My name is Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Really enjoying the topic. It's getting heated now.
Yeah. What's
But
your
I want
take on it?
to contribute to the topic.
Okay, please. What is your take on it? And your take on it is about she had a condom. Is that bad or is that good?
There are different sides to it. You have to look at it from different perspectives.
Yeah.
I want to support what Pastor Nat said. That I mean, before you go into having sex in a relationship, you must have agreed that both of you are going to, the relationship is going to end up in marriage.
Yeah.
So there was no need then.
That's not what Pastor Nat
That's
said.
not what
Pastor Nat said they should not have
They
sex.
should
full
not
stop,
have sex
until
full
they're
stop
married.
until they are married.
They should abstain from sex
Yes.
before
Yes.
they get married.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
But
Get that right.
as we all know, we don't live in an ideal world.
Society,
Right,
yeah.
yeah.
And these things do happen, that people, kind of, have sex before they go into marriage.
Yeah.
So in this situation, I would say the lady, for having a condom in her bag, it's all right to have a condom in her bag because she obviously wants to protect herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
But having a condom in her bag is a protection for her. on the guy's part, obviously he will look at the girl as, okay, you haven't condom in your bag when we haven't even actually, decided that we're going to end up in marriage.
Yeah.
Because they did not say they were going to have sex or anything. The bag just accidentally dropped and the condom fell out of the bag.
No. She produced one when the guy couldn't produce one.
Oh, when the guy couldn't produce one, she produced one.
She produced one.
Obviously, they've been going, you said they've been dating for 4 months.
4 months, yeah.
Obviously, I would have thought, at that dating for 4 months, they should have known each other very well and should have decided, okay, if we're going to be having sex, then we're going to have to be protecting ourselves because we don't want unwanted baby at that time, or we don't want to, catch any disease or something like that.
I agree with you here.
So having the condom in a bag must have been what both of them could have agreed upon. Okay, if you don't have one, you better keep one, and I'll keep one in my bag as well.
Yeah.
So they both know that at each occasion they're going to be meeting, one of them must have a condom.
Yeah.
So, but it's not wrong for her to have a condom in her bag.
You think of it this way: suppose they never ever had that discussion, because let's be realistic. Some people shy away from such conversations, and they don't have that conversation at all. And then one day, out of the blue, it happens. So, if it does happen like that, would it be bad for the lady to produce a condom?
Well, for the guy to be happy that the girl has produced a condom, because the girl is trying to protect herself, but at the same time protect the guy.
That the girl doesn't have unprotected sex.
Yeah, but the question I have to ask as well in all this is that I'm sure the guys didn't realize that she'd been holding that condom for 1 year, because if he just broke up the relationship just like that, and she's telling us the story herself, I'm sure he wasn't aware that she'd been holding that condom for a year.
It looks like he
which is why he's just run off, basically. So I'm actually looking at it from a different point of view as well.
Yeah.
So in that sense, all right, he can run. He can run.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, in any relationship that anyone's going to have, there should be respect in it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what's going on.
And you have to talk. Communication is a very important
tool.
You
know.
It's the saying that it's a man's world.
Yeah.
So the guys tend to kind of do, up and down, and if they're caught up somewhere, they want to have sex or anything like that. So even for the girl to have one condom in her bag, I think it's good for her.
Thank you.
As a form of protection.
Thank you.
So we don't kind of have unwanted babies, flying around the whole place.
That's right.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your contribution today. Thank you.
That's all right. Okay. Have a lovely Easter.
And you have a lovely Easter too. Thank you very much for that.
Bye now.
Yeah. Bye. Pastor Nat, what were we saying just before we got into that call? Because, I'm a Christian.
Well,
but I'm not going to get married again, am I?
Well, you never even know.
I'm done.
You don't know that. You don't know that. You shouldn't say that.
No,
you shouldn't say that.
You see, one thing is,
I'm not having sex anymore.
Like I said earlier, I stand by my conviction, and that is what the Bible endorses.
Sorry, Pastor. I am so sorry. I think we got one last call coming in. I am so sorry. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, evening. This is.
Sorry, could you say that again, please?
Susie?
Yes, Susie speaking.
Oh, Susie, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Sorry, who am I speaking to?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you as well. Who am I speaking to, please?
My name is Ibrahim.
Hi, Ibrahim. How are you?
Fine. Well, my take is you want to know if it's good for a woman to carry condom around?
Well, yeah.
Was
that a bad thing, or was that a good thing for her to do?
Well, I think there's nothing good and nothing bad.
Okay.
I think it depends on what you want from what you're doing.
Okay.
If a woman carries condom around,
yeah.
What I normally hear from most of the time from women is that women's bag is not something a man should look into.
I agree with you there.
And now see the perspective where they are coming from.
Yeah.
I'm a Muslim, and even though the Muslim culture says you can have as many wives that you can manage as possible, before I am married, and I won't tell you how many wives I have.
I don't think I want to know right now. Or how many concubines. Yes?
Well, to the glory of God, I can manage all of them.
Well done.
Even if I'm not supposed to. But I can tell you I have more than.
You have more than the 5?
More than one.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Mm-hmm.
Why did you say 5? Did you hear 5?
No, I just thought, because I know in the Muslim, you're allowed up to 5, aren't you?
4.
Is it 4?
Yeah, if I can manage, that is if you can manage 5.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now back to the basic.
Yeah. We've
Why
got
should
2
a woman
minutes
carry
left.
condoms in a bag when you know that you have a boyfriend
Yeah.
or a husband? If you don't have any of these, then that's why I said it's a free world. It's an independent world.
Mm-hmm.
But you can be sure that if you have condom in your bag and you have a boyfriend, you are on the wrong course. Especially if your boyfriend does not know how you get your condom.
But she had it in the bag for a year.
Yeah, but if the boyfriend takes your bag and find your condom there, or your husband, what are you going to say to him that you need it for, without him putting it there?
That is true.
So that's one of the risks for having a condom. It is beyond playing safe sex. Because there's a connotation about when you have something with you,
Yeah.
there must be a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So that's
I
the
think
point.
somebody was saying that it could be related to your job. When I was working in women's health, I had condoms in my bag. I gave it out freely and willingly to anybody around me and everybody
Yeah.
around me. So are you saying because I had condoms in my bag that I'm a loose woman?
Yeah, probably you might not be loose, but you are creating the wrong impression. That's how I feel, what I feel
Yeah,
about
but
it.
then I'm also creating the
Because it's only prostitutes that can, it's only prostitute or independent women that can have a condom, and it doesn't care whether anybody feels that or not.
No,
If you're
but
going to be having a prospective boyfriend or husband, you have to put them into consideration, because everybody knows that when you have
but there's
condom,
also
you want to have sex.
Sorry, there's also the risk of catching any STDs that's outside, isn't there?
But
Yeah,
it's
but
not-
then
That's
if
the
you
whole reason
if you go,
of condoms anyway, being distributed.
I
out
don't
freely.
think sex is an issue for a woman who is visiting a boyfriend, and we don't have the boyfriend. Do you have a condom? If you don't have a condom, then you don't
So
make sex.
you're saying to
Rather
me,
than having
I should
condom
trust
in your
my
bag all the time.
boyfriend 100%.
Some guys don't
Up
use
and down.
condoms.
Some people don't use, yeah, exactly. Some guys don't
Yeah.
use condoms. Some people I know are very allergic to latex. Me for one. So I will not be outside playing around. So you're saying to somebody like myself or somebody out there who's allergic to latex and that because somebody's offered you a condom or whatever it is and you have it in your bag, that means you're a loose woman.
No, but
That's
he
wrong.
just
I
compared.
still have the stance. My stance on this is that
But, you know,
any
maybe-
woman that have condom in their bag, they have an intention of sex. And
Not
I
necessarily.
disagree.
the
Not
intention of
necessarily.
sex- I
Sorry,
disagree.
not necessarily. You know, not necessarily. I totally disagree with that.
Well, I'd love to understand your
That's my
meaning.
opinion. I don't know about you, but that's my opinion.
Okay.
All right then.
Thank you.
Ibrahim, I'm going to say a big thank you very much, and we're going to have to round up here because we're coming to the end of the show. But thank you so much for ringing in, yeah? Wow. Do you know what? That was quite interesting. Although something still sticks in my mind, I think it's going to stay in my mind, and that is Ibrahim's perception of a prostitute and an independent woman.
Yes, definitely.
I don't understand that, and you never know, he might ring back next week to explain what he meant by what his meaning of independent women is. I know what he means by prostitute, but I don't know what he meant by independent women. But I'm going to say a big thank you. I mean, that was a really good conversation, wasn't it?
I would like to submit at the end of the day that
Yeah.
there are many heartbreaks in the world.
Yeah.
Don't add yours to it
Yeah.
by
Okay.
having illicit sex.
Yeah, I agree with
Anyway.
you. But we
And
weren't talking about illicit sex.
No,
anyway.
I mean, any sex that is out of the scripture to me is illicit. So
Okay,
that's what
any
I'm
sex out of marriage.
Out of marriage.
So
is
basically,
illicit.
don't have sex outside marriage.
Outside marriage.
Right.
That's
Thank
it.
you,
That,
Pastor.
that saves you a lot of heartbreak.
True.
And I'm going to say, if you're going to go out there and have sex, protect yourself, whether you're a man or a woman. That is me. Out.
And I am going to say, if you have a condom in your bag or purse, it doesn't make you a gigolo or a prostitute. It's all about staying alive, keeping yourself safe, no unwanted babies. I think it's more important to protect yourself than to leave yourself unprotected. But I'm going to say a big thank you to my guests tonight, Pastor Nat and Julie. Thank you so much for coming on the show and contributing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I'm going to say a big thank you to the viewers. We really, really enjoyed those telephone calls, discussions. Thank you so much. A big thank you to the production team. They've been wonderful. And a big massive thank you to my producer, Tokesy B. Tokes. Thank you. Good night and see you next week. Bye.